Welcome to the Lively City of London and the Livable City Conference 2024. I'm Allison John, here with Miss Anita Alaribala, Mabel Allison, presenting our research paper, Smart Cities and the Silent Toll, Moral Injury in Design and Construction. Dubai is quite a brilliant place, known for all the beauty, the glamour of a construction site. But in 2011, a young man jumped off Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building in Dubai, committed suicide to make a statement. A silent toll in the design and construction industry that has remained for decades. Burj Khalifa is the tallest building that is quite symbolic. It's a father, uncle, brother who has mother, father, sisters, aunties, and friends. He left his country for Dubai in a profession that he loves so much, but eventually his dreams, his expectations, promises were all vaporized by the heat of degradation, of dehumanization and humiliation that he met in the construction industry. The money he borrowed to pay for his visa, his trip, the shame that is coming, he took his life. He's not alone.
So these are the facts of the construction industry. In the past 10 years in Nigeria, we're witnessing 2 building failures, collapse, and 4 deaths every month. 2024 alone, we witnessed about 4 collapse of the power grid. Then since 2005 till now, Lagos have witnessed about 152 building collapse. And the National Bureau of Statistics also reported that the construction industry has the highest incidence of accidents and with a fatality rate of 90.8 in 2015. These are other facts. In 2011, the Human Rights Watch reported that 80 Indians die in United Arab Emirates. And the consulate the same year reported 2 Indian construction workers commit suicide every week. Construction industry is ranked one of the most corrupt organizations because no 2 projects are exactly the same. Complex transaction chains, and then a lot of secrecy. The tender and bidding process can involve a lot of collusion and what we describe as one hand, multiple fingers, situation where a politician can, in collaboration with the head of a parastatal, can submit 5 different companies as though they are independent bidding for and execute the project very poorly at the end. The construction industry by 2030 is estimated to be about 17.5 trillion in value, according to World Economic Forum. And we must ensure that this benefit is not stifled by corruption. Also, the construction industry is among the top 10 employers of labor. So these are other facts behind the construction industry cost overruns and delay. These are some of the reasons changes during the construction phase, contractors, financing, payment delay. These are some of the issues involved. Our city should be. We should be a city that improve its activity, operational efficiency with machines, but then everything is founded upon human value for ecosystem well-being, not only human beings, the environment and other species that are there. This is what I discussed before about weaponization. You can see the importance of the study, timeliness, very timely because 2015 we are talking about the population in cities tumbling. So there's urgent need for the construction industry to be up and doing, to be more efficient. And the moral injury is a major problem if it exists in the construction industry, taking its toll. You can see, so what is moral injury? The United World Health Organization definition about moral injury. And there are three types. One, the victim, the one that suffered the injury directly, the person that witnessed the harm when it was being carried out, and the person that caused the harm. These are the different types of moral injury. Then moral injury has three principal dimensions. The dimensions of degradation, humiliation, and dehumanization. Definitions are all there. These are the symptoms of moral injury. You see stealing, widespread distrust, disloyalty, discrimination, like in United Arab Emirates, cases of confiscation of international passport. We have cases of workers exploitation. The definition of smart cities, which is supposed to be a means by which moral injury should be defeated, by which the quality of life of the city users, city natives will be improved. These are facts. Construction industry, as earlier mentioned, rank highest in terms of incidents of high risk accident. There are literatures on moral injury, but you have a significant number in area of fatalities, corruption, causes impact, and how to control and prevent those stuff. Then at this point, if these things are true, you see that there is a silent toll, and if that silent toll is in existence, is it moral injury? So that's why we need to investigate it. That gives back to the research question. Does design and construction workers experience moral injury in design and construction? If so, what is the prevalence and what solution exists? That is the hypothesis, the null hypothesis. That is the sample size. We started with 300, but eventually it was 171. About 50% fall because the respondent, some of them now became worried that they don't want to discuss the past. Others were scared if their details will not expose them to the employer and eventually be sacked because we asked for demographic information, email, and all that. So this is the hypothesis testing tool. We use the chi-square method because it is not parametric. It's called the proportion frequency. Also, I did in terms of independent variable which we shared among ourselves, and we studied independently and came up with our result. And where we have this misunderstanding, we disagree, and we all go together, look at it, and resolve it. So these are the different uh, clusters, as you can see, in medical, construction, professional, non-professional, academic. You can see the different groups. How will they feel? You can see they have anger, frustrated, betrayed, helpless. These are all sub-items of moral injury investigation, which the experts have expressed. That is how they will feel. Then these are responses from the medical experts too on the most prevalent reason for emotional distress of the people they have cancelled or witness counseling. You see, the reasons are self-harm due to sense of guilt and deep regret. You see this, these are difficulty coping with feelings of responsibility for the accident. The construction industry, if they've expressed a feeling of guilt, regret, difficulty coping emotionally after an accident. You see, yes, you see, positive, positive. So this band, yeah, I see, yes, they experience it. This one is the non-expert construction workers answer the question. The architect of a truth rely on empirical data. He measures length, height of spaces, and then he uses a categorical data. He asks questions about the lifestyle of the people and the behaviors of the people to be able to do his design, which are all categorical data. These are the 15 items used in evaluating the three main dimensions of moral injury. And we use about 50 questions to assess them, and these are their contributions towards chi-square calculated chi-square value. These are the contribution of each item. And when you add all, you have 55.8. Degree of freedom, sample size of 16, 16 experts as I earlier mentioned, an alpha level of 5, percent, which is 0.05, and a confidence level of 95% or 0.95. The calculated chi-square of 55.88 is greater than the critical chi-square of 23.69 with a p-value, the p-value of 0.00001, which is very, very small, meaning the chance, if the null hypothesis is true, the chances that what we are observing now, so it's very small, meaning the null hypothesis that the mean population of design and construction workers experiencing moral injury in the construction industry is zero. On that basis, the alternate hypothesis is that there is moral injury in the design and construction industry. This is an empirical evidence. So how the forms of moral injury could be online, offline, the digital age. We have students giving us narrating their offline experiences, online experiences. Offline, they're being used, for instance, handouts and books. The lecturers will have a plan. They want to meet their personal need. They will now develop a plan and then incorporate the students too as part of that plan to enable them achieve their personal goals. And that comes in form of handouts and books. And even if the students have the books from older students, you are still compelled to buy the books because the lecturer will ask for names of those students that purchased the book. So with that, you see that both quizzes, continuous assessment, and test and exam, you may be victimized. So that is the students are compelled to buy the book against their wish. That is offline form, for example of offline form. Online form, remember during the pandemic period, schools started building capacities to offer online teaching so that future pandemics will not have tremendous impact as the COVID-19 did. So on that basis, students were asked to go and develop skills, and then some of them, in trying to get that done, fell into the hands of identity theft, online identity theft, and then before they knew what was happening, their stipend, living stipend, and fees were stolen, and that forced them out of school, as some their parents refused giving them, considering them to be reckless. The lecturers, on the other hand, reported degradation, demeaning, and input not recognized as external contractors are executing local projects that are meant for the institution, simple projects, they're giving out external contractors. Some of them who are not even BSc holders. Yet the school is offering BSc, MSc, even PhD in design and construction courses, engineering, architecture, building tech, and so on. Yet when it is time to award project, you give it out to these external people. That some of them are not competent. And when you go to visit them, you see that body language as though they are more competent. You are just writing books, you are just a theorist and all those kind of stuff. And that affects, the personality of the lecturers, how they look at the student being deprived of opportunity of acquiring practical skills. Because it is difficult sometimes for the student to visit such places, the sites, because it's barricaded and restricted. So on that basis, the lecturer feels helpless looking at the student and feel betrayed by the authorities. The construction workers too have their own side of the story. Transit, when they are being taken to sites and you want to take photograph of them, they are always very, very angry, meaning they are shameful of the environment, the working conditions they find themselves, the vehicle, the caravans and trucks they find themselves. So they feel very bad. Sometimes you find out that the offices too, the general offices are arranged in a way that looks like primary school. You don't have to not find the government to stay inside. They feel bad. It's all part of what degradation. That is part of degradation. Another thing we observe was trade name, carpenter, bricklayer. Instead of using the real name, some people get offended by that. Some instances, the architect may be okay with it, but there are instances where the architects are not happy because the company itself, they say they are using expatriate, but indeed these are mere masons, low craftsmen of Polish, Italian origins, some of them Asian origins, that are brought in as experts and then given the title of professional so that they can exploit the client. So in such circumstance, if you have the Nigerian architect there or engineer, and you're calling those people engineer and architect, you call the Nigerian architect also the same. They don't want to, and they want their real name so that they can retain their respect and dignity. So another online injury experienced by construction worker has to do with the COVID-19 era, called the COVID-19 hero, because during that period, they acquired skills remotely, and then they were working remotely, enabling their companies to overcome the cost burden of delay that were associated by loan taken from banks and all those stuff. They were able to meet some deadlines, critical deadlines remotely. And after the pandemic, we expected that work would be run as usual, but unfortunately, it did not. They were still seeing pressure since the company have realized that they are working, they can work effectively from house. They were still pressure to get that done from home, which proved to be very, very regrettable because now their family time is no longer there. They are having problem with their spouse. Some of them are broken up. Those of them that stick to their work, they don't want to lose, they don't have any option. They're broken up with their spouse, the spouse have left them, some have resigned because they don't want the pressure. And this is because they offer themselves to help the company out. Now the company is using it to help. I think the company, if they fail to do it, they will be dealt with through appraiser for promotion bonuses and all those stuff. They will be dealt with because now the remote work now is being used as basis for promotion, for bonuses and all those stuff. We also find Bible believers, they take remove not the landmark. Some take the ancient landmark must not be removed. But here in Nigeria, you see a situation where native plants are being removed and replaced with foreign, non-fruitful, non-edible, nutritious plant. Like you can see this one here, it's doing nothing, nothing. This tree too is doing nothing. This would have been orange or guava tree that have been very useful, but remove it and plant something else. That way, you find out that even the plants are angry, and that is moral injury against them and the place. Because the place will lose its identity. Moral injury comes with one losing its identity, cultural heritage. Now, we have moral injury in the academia and the manifests in the form of, in terms of impact, lack of trust, disloyalty, and that will lead to high incidence of fatal accident due to loss of focus and mental stress, distress, and then delays arising from corruption and corporate loss of critical equipment and damage from accident. Researchers feeling demeaned, degraded will affect their performance. The users, the city users needed what they are demanding and what is being provided by the leaders. You can see how the city is being abused for the same reason. Because when you don't respond to the people will not embrace the offering. The littering here you see is as a result of scavengers, speculative search for material they will recycle. You can see this is a school, a primary school. You can imagine children see the play area, what you're seeing here. And you can imagine that kind of space, that's where you have refuge. So you play and you learn. So they learn how to abuse the environment too as children. You can see there's a major way you have a pedestrian walkway this way that's been occupied by the vehicle because the city was so planned that way that vehicle can easily climb the pedestrian walkway, forcing the children into the highway. And some of them have been knocked down by hit and run vehicle. You can imagine the crisis the parents went through. This is what the people needed. This is what Sim City, a model city, a mental model of what we are thinking, and that will guide the Port Harcourt 20,000 cities.
Everyone to Livable Cities London Conference 2024 to learn from your children like me. I speak as children rights advocacy enthusiast. I am an ambassador to King Edmund Grooming G12 Development Outreach. Have we truly grasped the anguish and helplessness of children like me, born into families and communities marred by the construction industry's disregard for human dignity? This industry, which boasts of building cities, has overlooked the very fabric of society's people, including us, the children. We, the youth, dream of exploring cities like Dubai and Doha, marvels of construction and human achievement. Yet, how can we reconcile these dreams with the stark reality of exploitation and loss within our own families? The industry slogan, "We built the city," rings hollow when weighed against the suffering of those who laid the bricks. Our hearts beat to the rhythm of life. that the melody is tainted by the sorrow of knowing our loved ones were consumed by a system that values profit over people. The once gleaming image of these cities is now clouded by the shadows of despair and injustice. As children, we learn from our surroundings, from our parents, teachers, and the cities that serve as our playgrounds. But what lessons are we to draw from a world where the music of humanity is discordant? We yearn for a symphony of hope, not a cacophony of frustration and resentment. If architecture is akin to music, storytelling, and language, then let us, the children, be the composers of a brighter future. Let us imbue our cities with the essence of humanity, ensuring that the tales we tell are not of sorrow, but of inspiration and healing. The construction industry must confront the moral injuries it has inflicted not only upon individuals and cities, but upon its very soul. It is time to harmonize the industry's actions with the values of compassion and respect. Thank you for listening to the plea of a child, a plea for a world where every heartbeat contributes to a chorus of dignity and respect. Victory, Allison.
Now, you can say when you allow moral injury to last for a long period, there will be a repercussion. People will fight back. Yeah, you see the slightest opportunity, they've reclaimed the road. This is the ball, you can see. This is their small post. They use them to reclaim the road for games. And here you see moral injury can transcend generation, and if not corrected, will be corrected by force. By 2050, the world population will double, and you can imagine the pressure in the construction industry. That is why we cannot allow moral injury to strive, taking its toll in the construction industry. When we need more hands, the population is aging, we need more people, innovative hands, energetic people to take over. So that is why we have to work very hard. Conceptual approaches, we have to adopt greater awareness, creation, and more research on moral injury. Also, moral injury starts with top management, because top management will definitely approve it for it to take place. So, we must develop a system that holds the top management accountable. Counseling services for those construction workers suffering from moral injury, very critical, stated by Dr. Ife. She is the head of physiotherapy, University Teaching Hospital. She insisted that moral injury is prevalent because the companies are not suffering litigation action. Dr. Job, too, University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, supported the view that it's prevalent, and sometimes he has observed discriminatory tendencies where some workers are given unlimited care, and some of them, even just 2 weeks, you receive information that you should send the patient away for a lower level of care, that they cannot fund it anymore. So improving educational policy for better outcome is also very important. We are using the same city, as I said earlier, to promote African information system in school. African information system here includes proverb and storytelling that has been accepted as a valid means for research, storage of data, retrieval, teaching. Concepts like moral injury, smart cities will be intuitive. So we have training and counseling provision where we are recommending about 1% construction project values that will serve as a trust fund for moral injury treatment, training, and prevention.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
This is the same city model as a smart city. So this is the smart city. You can see You live with nature. This is the just tilt house. You build. You don't pollute the water. You don't destroy the land. This building was designed and constructed purely based on proverbs and songs of the Nembe Ijaw people. Their belief system. This point you see is more like the umbilical cord, linking the child who is in the arms of the water. Water is more like you have the water goddess, they believe in the water goddess, they also believe in Christianity is much there too. So they believe in God, heaven, and linked to the earth. So this is, you can see what the city used to look like. You have fruits and other things as plants that are used to landscape the city. So as children, you move and you pluck fruits and you eat freely. But the situation now is everywhere has been taken over by projects, commoditized spaces, and all those stuff. And those things are no longer there again. So now we are talking about obesity, we're talking about nutrition. You can see the kind of vehicle we're proposing is based on pedal it, climb up. You can see this more like roller coaster at its scale level. These are overpasses built. You drive, you pedal this thing up, get to a particular point, picks up, and gravity takes you down to where you're going. So we call it gravity powered overpasses. So that is what SimCity model is using. Conclusion: we have empirically confirmed that moral injury exists in construction. So we have identified its prevalence much, the impact and symptoms also, including promoting ethical guidelines, transparency, communication, supportive environment as means of overcoming moral injury. Also, the use of blockchain AI technology. Limited number of pages. You are much appreciated. Further details can be reached. This email, the manuscript has more details and the references.